Hello there, and welcome back to the Front Range. I'm the dad.
I'm the daughter.
I'm old.
I'm young.
And we're ridiculous. No, just me. So we are back here with another BTS video reaction. We will be doing the song Dope.
Dope. 10 years ago, 222 million views.
Yeah, so this has been a great journey. For those of you that have kind of been along already, you know that this is I'm a complete newborn to all things BTS and K-pop.
And I have been a K-pop fan since 2019.
So, we're diving in, and this was actually a music video that was recommended by a couple different people on this channel in the comments, and we encourage that. Like, if there's some other things too that we will get to that people have suggested. This just happens to be the first one that we are going to go ahead and take up the mantle and take a look at it and see what we've got. One other thing, kind of an announcement. We're almost to the point where we're going to try to do the kind of stopping and starting and pausing and going through the music.
We almost have it.
Yeah. So if you're like, oh man, it's tough to watch these videos, we're almost there. But the response on these videos has been tremendous, and we can't thank you guys enough. People taking the time to actually watch our reactions.
Good or bad engagement.
It's been great. It's a lot of fun. Like and subscribe, and you'll just see more of them because we're gonna be doing a lot more of these.
And we're gonna do bands that I've never heard either.
Yes, and we're gonna do a live travel vlog for her to see BTS in Las Vegas, so you can kind of ride along with her. If we may even figure out how to do some live streaming and chatting before she goes to the concert. So and right after, maybe.
This song I'm very excited for him to hear and see if he hears what I hear, because it sounds like they're saying my name.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with Dope.
어서 와. 방탄은 처음이지?
She's got a dimple.
You can definitely see they're younger. So this was 2016, if it was 10 years ago. This was 2 years after they debuted. Depends on if it's 2015.
Michael Jackson.
They're saying my name.
I just saw the Michael Jackson move.
That's Mom's favorite. There's Mom. See, that's my name.
Oh, okay, I got you. So back then, were they doing most of their songs fully in Korean?
It was kind of, sometimes in their albums they'll do like a full Korean song, and then sometimes they'll do like one mixed with English, or they'll do one that's fully American. They'll usually have English words mixed in. I mean, English being in K-pop songs is kind of always there. But they were the first ones that went mainstream music. Especially in America.
It's interesting, that similar structure of movement, get together, do some moves. And that's even so prevalent in their videos now.
그럼 난 6포가 좋으니까 6포 세대 언론과 어른들은 의지가 없다면 우리 싹초식처럼 배려해 해보기도 전에 죽여 걔는 enemy 벌써부터 고개 숙여 받아 energy
Has it always been the same 7 members?
They went through hell together. I would say K-pop idols now have it easier.
Pee Wee Herman.
Have it easier. Not saying that all of them had a really easy start, but I would say it was definitely easier because they were out on the streets handing people flyers for their shows. But like now, if you join under Big Hit, they're gonna be promoting that for you. I hope they play this song.
Kind of like the Village People in this video because they got a cop, they got a like, sailor.
That's hilarious. I didn't even notice that. It's funny. Bang Chan. Hello? Wrong band. Now that I'm like looking at it, I'm like, where are they? Where are they supposed to be?
Well, they were in like an office there earlier.
Huh. I love that music video.
Okay, so that was Dope by BTS. What are your thoughts?
I love that song.
Yeah.
I've always loved that song. I remember hearing it for the first time while I was cleaning my room, and then I was like, are they saying my name?
That's really funny. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. The obviously closed captions went a little haywire, and then they just stopped.
They don't. That's not great.
So, but I mean, I will say I'm now like find myself that I'm, again, since this is also new to me, I've reached a point where I'm actually starting to like read the lyrics more, the ones that are in Korean, whereas before I'm like just trying to visually understand like who's who, what they're doing, the dance moves, choreographed with, I mean, the reality is music, you don't need to always know the language, because I listen to music in languages that I don't understand all the time, because the singing sounds great and the music sounds great, and so I'll listen to it. I don't even remember who introduced me to it. I don't speak a lick of French. French rapping sounds fantastic. That language just lends itself really well to rapping, which other languages don't.
Korean sounds
Korean does, yeah. I mean, that was another element I've learned that I didn't know before. I had no idea that there were like designated members that were particularly adept at rapping. But she's brought that to my attention. She's like, the people who are fans of this, like she is, they know like those are their two rappers, or however it's structured within the different
certain bands.
Yeah,
there's
K-pop
3 in BTS, but there's 2 in Stray Kids. They might have 3, but I think there's 2 main ones.
Well, and I've been watching those enough to kind of, I'm kind of partial to Felix and Stray Kids as a rapper, but primarily because that baritone voice of his.
He doesn't rap very often, but when he does, it's great.
Well, but when he drops that voice, like it was really a shock.
Effect.
Yeah, it was a shock for me the first time I heard it. I was like, is that dubbed? Like that can't be right. But back to this video, yeah, even though this was 10 years ago, you said? 10 years ago. Like one thing I noticed even before we started doing this, when she was first started kind of sharing a little bit of K-pop with me, is, obviously part of as much of their expression as their singing is their dancing. And that's obviously highlighted within the videos of, it seems like so many of them kind of, the action, there's some action kind of goes like this, and they get the boys together, and then they do a dance.
I mean, obviously there was like Michael Jackson, and and then there was like NSYNC, and those bands, but they weren't dancing like Michael Jackson. Then that's why I think K-pop is very like its own thing, because then all of a sudden you have like 8 people dancing like as well as Michael Jackson did.
Yes, so I will agree. Well, let's not get crazy with dancing as well as Michael Jackson, because.
Well, no, but you know what I mean.
I know.
Like...
I'm giving you a hard time. Yeah. So tiny tangent on Michael Jackson that was really fascinating about him is you would have his backup dancers, like they've been working for like a week on this dance, perfecting it, do this. He would show up and say, okay, show me the moves. And they because he's a prodigy. I mean, the guy was a prodigy. They'd show him the moves one time and he knew it. Like, and it's crazy. Knew it cold.
If you ever watch behind the scenes videos of him doing that, it's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. It's so he was such an amazing and talented artist, and not even maybe my favorite artist, and I'm from that era, because I'm partial to Prince. But there was maybe nobody with more stage presence and charisma because Michael Jackson was the lead singer of the Jackson 5 when he was 6.
Yeah.
So 6, okay, of one of the top bands in the world at that time. He was 6. He was the lead singer.
Yeah.
So I mean that's
so
just
cute,
crazy,
yeah.
and he was the best dancer.
Yeah.
At like 6.
He's so cute. I love those videos.
So, anyways, and that's another thing we're going to I'd like to expand on is I see so many similarities of where some of this has evolved from. You know, not to discredit it. It's not discrediting because everything comes from somewhere else. But at some point, I'd like to kind of dig into my perceptions now of what I see that is so familiar to me from other performances. You know, she mentioned Michael Jackson. She mentioned NSYNC. The Spice Girls, okay? I'm telling you, you go back and watch some of their videos, and it's very much structured the same way of like the individual singers. They kind of move around, and then they coalesce. They're back in frame, and they're all choreographed. They are not dancing as well as these K-pop bands, not even close. But the groundwork was laid by some of those videos, you know, particularly in the, well, I mean, it goes back to the 80s and 90s, so... but yeah, back to this song. I liked it. I liked the dancing.
Do you agree with me that it sounds like they're saying my name?
I do.
Yes.
And I don't know because I haven't seen that many of the videos from this era, but it certainly looks like you can tell an increase in the production budget. You know,
they're quite young in that video.
Yeah,
too,
that's what
tell,
I was gonna say. I mean, I can tell, and I haven't watched too much of it, and I can tell they're much younger, but you could tell that it didn't cost as much to make that video as, you know, some of the videos that we've seen recently. So, yeah. Anything else?
No.
Okay. As always, comments, things you like, things you don't like, things we got right, things we got wrong. And again, you don't need to let us know that about the pausing. We're working on that. We're going to get to that point where we can pause and comment so that we're not necessarily speaking over as much of the singing. So we'll get there. But if you want to see that, you have to kind of like and subscribe to make sure that you get notified when we're doing more BTS and K-pop videos. So, go ahead and do that little thing. Doesn't cost you anything. We certainly appreciate it. We love anybody who takes the time to watch any of our reactions. And other than that, we will see you on the next one. Bye.